This is such an unflattering angle, I swear. So why I'm doing it again, I don't know. Because I remember being like completely repulsed when I saw it yesterday. But, man, you know what? I think it is. It's, okay, so it's the fact that I need to lose like 20 pounds. But it's also that I have such like a round face. And then I have a really short, thick neck. Hey, thanks, Grandma. Oh, no. So yeah, I'm sitting in traffic. Right on time. Yeah, right on time. I'm sitting in traffic, and I swear to God, I'm either like getting ready for work, driving to work, or I'm like coming home from work, or just like getting home from work. This is like my life, but it's better than not having any work, I guess. And yeah, plus I work for a cool place. I officially work for a cool place now. So yeah, just car thoughts. Because what else am I going to do in the car? I'm kind of sick of listening to the same stupid songs over and over again. And that includes the same stupid songs on my phone. Like, I thought I had plenty of music. And then I got sick of my music. But, you know, college radio rarely lets me down. It's just, sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's enough. It's getting warm in here. So what can we talk about today? So many things we can talk about, and of course I blank out on all of them right now. Okay, so how about this? Let's see. You know, let's talk about music. It's funny. Music and Rogue One. So I don't know if it's just me. You know, I don't think it's just me. But, you know, I started listening to college radio, like, what is it, 89.9 San Marcos, and then I think it's KRTU, like 90.1. They've got some badass music, and I don't know why, because I always knew it was there, but I didn't start listening to it until like a few months ago, like really listening to it, and programmed it in, and like it's official, like I'm listening to it. The music is so good, and oftentimes I find myself thinking, you know what, this sounds like something my ex-husband would listen to. This sounds like something that he would really jam out to, that he would probably, a band he would talk about. You know, back in the good old days when I met him at Joey's, I was a waitress there, and then I bartended at First Fridays at Blue Star. And I remember meeting him, I think I just turned 21, almost 20, no, I was almost 22. He was like 29, so like, you know, older, experienced. And I was saving up money to move to Seattle to be with my brother and sister. And he comes along, and for whatever reason, he likes me. Like, to this day, I can't figure out why he even started talking to me, because it's just like, I don't know. Like, I remember admiring him because he was really cute. He was talented. He was tattooed. He had these amazing friends that were all funny and creative and not like anybody I'd ever known before. And they were all just so funny, and they had this look about them. And I remember being like, God, like, how fun. Like, what a great group of people. And then he liked me. And I was like, I don't know why. Why do you like me? And I was so young. And then he wanted to be in, like, my first real, like, serious adult relationship. Poor dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he realized just how young I was and how inexperienced I was. Because looking back on things, like, there were so many things that could have happened differently, and we probably wouldn't be in the situation we are now. But then, you know, I feel sad. It's like, well, then I wouldn't have Stormy. All of this had to come about because of Stormy, right? Like, there's always a reason things happen, even if they're fucked up and horrible. There's always a reason. I've learned this. I believe this. And it's not just to justify anything. No, there really is a reason. Anyway, so they had great taste in music, and they lived in cool places. Like, there's this, I can't remember, I think his name was Dan, I don't remember. But his family owned a Korean restaurant here in town. Oh God, the best food ever. But he lived like this cool, badass, like almost hole in the wall, like speakeasy apartment, if you can even call it that. And it used to be, I think, like maybe a hotel or something, or a motel at one point, but it was so fucking awesome. It was like straight out of a Quentin Tarantino movie, and I remember it was really close to the Whitty. You can actually see it from the Children's Museum now. I remember being like, I want to live here. Like, they had the life I wanted. They lived a lifestyle that I saw for myself, but I didn't know how to do it. And I guess you either just had the right connections, you knew the right people. Like, I didn't know that this lifestyle was, You either like were born into it or you knew how to get into it. Me, I didn't know how to do either of those things. I just knew that I admired these people. I looked up to them, like they inspired me, like they were just unbelievably awesome. But I didn't know that this was also, anyway. So the music, going back to the music, that's what drew me to my ex-husband initially, was his taste in music. He was really talented drummer. I guess he's a music producer and engineer. What the hell? My door just opened up. What the fuck? That was crazy. Driving down 281 and my door opens. Ah, God. So that's what drew me to him initially. But he started talking to me, and I remember the first time I met him, I didn't really like him because he was like sloshed and playing with a pinwheel, and his friend Scott started talking to me, and I remember liking his friend Jared. Jared was the nicest ever, but Scott was the one that kind of introduced us. And I remember thinking like my ex-husband was like obnoxious, like he was like, his eyes were barely open and like whatever, like it was the weirdest thing. And then the next time he came in, he wound up apologizing, and then we kind of started talking. And the next time he came in after that, he's like, I want to sit in your section. And I'm just like, whoa, what? Like, this dude like Star Wars, and he's like a rock star, and like, why would he want to sit in my section? But yeah, we bonded over music. And I remember the one thing, you know, aside from Stormy, is I have to thank him for introducing me to so many unbelievable bands and genres of music. Like, I was always kind of aware they were there, but he like really introduced me to them. Like, I knew the Smiths, but I didn't really know the Smiths. And forever and ever, I will now associate, you know, Morrissey, the Smiths with my ex-husband. To the point where after we divorced, like, I couldn't even listen to the Smiths because it just made me so sad and like so just like, oh, where the fuck did we go wrong kind of thing, and how is this my life kind of thing. So even to this day, like, I will listen to college radio, 89.9, 90.1, and remember him and be like, not so much sentimental, because even when we were dating, it wasn't the best. But there was a short time there in between we like officially started dating, and even a short time like right after we moved to San Francisco, where things were kind of dreamy and blissful, but we were never really connected. But the music connected us. We were never so close. Like, we never shared souls, our hearts, really. I don't think we ever did. But the music tied us together. So I'll hear a song now and be like, this sounds like my ex-husband. I'll hear somebody playing drums and be like, my ex-husband can totally like play better than that. Going to see Rogue One, I remember thinking, I bet my ex-husband teared up. I bet he loved this. Like, I know this was like everything to him. And then when Carrie Fisher died, our daughter was with me that weekend. The first thing I said was, call your dad. Make sure your dad's okay. And I'm not saying this to be like, you know, oh, look at me. No, but this, I don't know, like, as much animosity as there is between us right now, I can't help but be like, I wish things were different. Like, there was a time, like, I have to make myself think, there was a time when we liked each other. There was a time where we didn't hate each other. There was a time before anything bad happened where we were curious about each other and we wanted to share things with each other. Although we never really did, it was always just about the music. Honestly, I think that's all it was. It was just about the music. I'm sure we cared about each other. I'm sure there was some version of love there, but I don't think we were ever in love. Even when we decided to get married, we were sitting in IKEA, picking out furniture and, you know, just like in the Bay Area. And we were looking at these chairs and he was like, hey, do you think we should go ahead and get married? And I was like, I don't know. I think so, right? Like, yeah, let's go ahead and do And that was it. And like, I didn't know that you could like somebody and not date them. Like, I didn't know that you could live with somebody and not have to marry them. Like, I didn't understand the concept of just casual dating. Like, I didn't know what that meant. I'd only had boyfriends. So this poor dude and poor me, like 22-year-old me, like trying to figure out life and being thrown into it in such a way that I guess he expected I knew how to do this. And I really didn't. But the one thing, the one constant throughout all of this was amazing music. And so I sometimes sit here now listening to these songs and being like, I wonder if I could be the me now, going back then, what things might be like. You know, we'd probably just be friends. And I know he's a really, really good friend to his friends. We just didn't work out as a couple, and we never really, I don't think we ever should have. I think we were trying to make something happen just for the follow through. I think in San Francisco, we tried to hang on to it just to stay there. I knew that I was always afraid of disappointing him, and I knew I was a big disappointment to him. But I also didn't know that I didn't have to be with him. I remember being like, he thinks I'm this person. For whatever reason, he likes me. I don't know why, and I better not let him down. So I tried to learn the music, and it was just never enough. I didn't know enough about the music. And I liked other music, but it was almost shamefully. Like, I remember at one point, he was like, I bet you like Dave Matthews. And it was almost supposed to be, like, offensive. And no, I didn't really like Dave Matthews. I remember liking the song Satellite, but that was just kind of it. And I remember him being like, I bet you like Hootie. And I was just like, no. But again, that was supposed to be like an insult. And so I'm like trying to keep up with like the good music. And I know good music now. Like, I just never really been fully exposed to it. But there are a few times, like when I told him I liked Chicago, and he was impressed by that. I was like, okay, good. So I'm not totally unworthy of like his attention. And when I told him that I loved Earth, Wind & Fire, and he was like, oh yeah, they're great, and starts talking to me about it. And I was like, shit, I like them, but I don't know enough about them to be cool enough for this guy. And so this whole thing, but like, again, it all just comes down to the music. And I wonder if I could be the me now, when I met him back then, how would our lives be different? And again, I think we probably just would have been friends. We probably wouldn't have a serious dating relationship. We might have gone out a couple times. I don't know. But I don't think we would have moved to San Francisco together. I know we wouldn't have gotten married. But then 2 years later, Stormy would have never been. And it's just crazy to think about that, and I don't know. It's just funny how crucial, just like what a major part music played in all this. Because I think that's all there was just music. And there really wasn't much more than that. And looking back on it, it's like, well, that's why it was so hard. But either he was in denial and I didn't know, like I was so unaware that like I couldn't have possibly known that relationship was not meant to be, Aaliyah. Like, this is why you're fighting, this is why you're so unhappy, this is why you're so uncomfortable all the time, this is why you never truly fit in, no matter what I tried to do and how much I tried to learn and how I tried to dress. And I was never going to be what he wanted. I was never going to be good enough for the right fit. And I didn't know that was okay. Like, I didn't know that was okay. And that just sucks. And I wish I could go back and be like, just back away slowly, take your tip money, and like walk away. And it didn't have to be anything more than that. Like, I didn't know. It just sucks. But isn't that crazy the way like life works out and how this one thing can make all the difference in the world? And just how being aware now, that hindsight, that crazy hindsight. But anyway, these are my car thoughts for today. And it's just, I hope someday these bad feelings go away. For him, my bad feelings, for the most part, have dissipated. And I just try to remember that there was a time where we liked each other. There was a time where we were friends, kind of. I was never his friend. I don't think he ever really let me be. But I really wanted to be his friend. which is kind of sad. I don't want to think about that. Okay, so yeah, this traffic sucks. I really hope I'm not late, but gosh, it's been a long time since I've been to Luby's. Can you guess where I am right now? There's a Luby's right there, and then Pasha's right up there. Oh my god, fucking that hummus life though. Those dolmas though. That naan though. Oh my god. Anyway, I think that's all. That's a pretty good one, right? That's some serious shit. I don't think he ever knew this, and I never knew how to articulate it. That's just weird. But here I am. How many years later? 15 years later, knowing how things should have played out, probably. Well, better luck next time, kid, right? All right. Fuck these red lights. Bye.